either having nice or but that's the part of it, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like when everybody's trying
Stop ages too! It's killing you!
Let it all get us down. Marvellous. Okay, let's go over here.
Oh, sorry.
That's some tripods in the picture. Yeah, when pictures back on there. I haven't seen it in a long time. I've started this again. I don't know, I'll check them out again.
Yeah, sorry.
Muy sincero.
Actually, more kids.
Thank
like taking it at the top, that was all.
This one.
Okay, handing over to our song carriers.
Thank you very much. And in solidarity with those in the Okavango Delta, Botswana and Namibia, we would like to dedicate this next song by Kate Thomas called Let Us Stand. We'll sing it through to you once and then we'll teach you a part to join in.
So let us stand as we face the coming storm, for we love this land. Let's work for a better dawn, and let us love like we've never loved before. Sisters and brothers all together, let us stand.
And we're hoping to sing this with you now, so here goes the melody.
So let us stand as we face the coming storm. Please all try that with us. So let us stand as we face the coming storm, for we love this land. Let's work for a better dawn. Try that. For we love this land. Let's work for a better dawn, and let us love everyone across the world, sisters, brothers, everybody. This affects everyone. So we'll sing it with you now. Harmony, you can join in with the tune. 1, 2, 3. So let us stand as we face the coming storm, for we love this land. Let's work for a better dawn, and let us love like we've never loved before. Sisters and brothers all together, let us stand. One more time. So let us stand as we face the coming storm, for we love this land. Let's work for a better dawn, and let us love like we've never loved before.
Excuse me, then I have to go and check on what's the place. I was having in the sun.
We get people to buy our practices.
So like internet speed.
How long it takes to walk back? I'll be back at 2:30. No. There's a ball.
We might be reaching the back over this game now. Referee clearly watching it. Johnson clearly pretty slippery customer. So many promises. Okay, that's half time. That's half time. Julie.
G7 and their lives! G7 and their lives! G7 and all your lives!
That's for you. G7 Super League game.
When all
Brought to you by SR Football.
G7
And the
and all
players
your
of the
lives!
International G7 Super League. Again, people, come and talk to us if you want to know more. Sharpie's money, Barclays PLC, pushing that money. It's that fossil fuel money.
Are you taking a video?
Okay, we're living in a climate emergency in this shopping centre.
Oh, it's true, it says on that way, relax.
So it's actually really nice.
On the move! On the move! Will do. See you in a bit. Is it real?
last one for this year.
I'm so glad I'm not wearing
Oh, it hasn't come back. He doesn't like the drums. Imagine how loud that would be for him.
I mean, you can't need them to be intimidated by the system.
I'll still choose through them, so we're not like properly. Beautiful. Australian Shepherd. It's like what cowboys used to have, and they had a big like massive of the Wild West. It's like a German Shepherd, but it's like a model.
This is the end of the march, so
done, everybody. Well done. Well done for getting the world in. Let them see the world.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what equality sounds like. This is what equality sounds like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what equality sounds like. This is what equality sounds like. Yeah. Surprise! Surprise! G7, tell lies! 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 Surprise! In our hands, we got the whole world in our hands. Oh yeah, we got the whole world in our hands. 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 One more time and then we're back in. Okay. Surprise! Surprise! G7, tell lies! 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 The whole march. We're good? We're going that way. We're good? And me, there you go. Alright. Yeah.
Excuse me, guys. It's got a bit of a shot.
With the whole world. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, I will hold it. No!
So I went up there to my car.
Find someone with all of it. Actually, how far is it on foot
No.
Pretty good idea. 6, 7, 8, 22.
Oh,
That's my family or so. It's been in the woods for you.
Was it?
Yeah. It's been a crack for you.
We'll leave you to
What's the plan?
Yeah, no worries. Cheers.
See you guys later.
Probably going to move. I've got places to do. Speak! Someone say something. Or I'll start going on about
Alright, yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Come on, do it.
Right. Give me a minute.
Yay!
Ecocide is suicide by any other name, burning the foundations of our ivory towers. Ecocide is suicide on a global scale, burning the soil and poisoning the streams. Ecocide is suicide over many years, starting with any life we fail to utilise. Ecocide is suicide decided by few for all. The madness of believing that money can fix the earth. Ecocide is suicide, not just for bees, for us, and almost all the creatures with their backs to the sun. Ecocide is suicide, I'll say it till I'm hoarse. I'll shout from street corners until we change course. Ecocide is genocide, it's murder with intent, the violation of landscapes and violence described as progress. Ecocide is genocide, and with no doubt it's a crime that is committed and defended by those who hold the cards. Ecocide is simple. It happens every day with every field and forest that we scrape away. Ecocide is simple and slowly at first. The bud of spring begins to need strained ears to hear. Species across the globe begin to disappear. Millions of generations of life and harmony destroyed in mere moments by mechanised industry. So, I've come from the HS2 campaign, where we've been, for the past couple of years, we've been living on sites, we've been under the stress of eviction, but this is terrible ecocide happening within our country. We're burning down some of the rarest landscapes in Europe for a train line we don't need. If you want to be active and really help the environment, then the HS2 campaign needs people. Just as a bit of a description of the sort of things we do. We built a creaky tower fashioned between two oak, 4-bed with a penthouse, locking doors and good views. But the sharks are circling ever tighter around with orders, claims and eviction demands. The hammer is hovering above. We built a creaky tower with wood and string and hope. It's a place where we can fight our war without ever leaving bed. Careful of your footing and never cut that rope. Our tower is for the anarchists who sleep by tarp and board. Our tower is for the trees it's on to prevent them being killed. Our tower is for the people who protect the trees and moss. There are no rules, no pets, no police, and you can only climb if you're in on the joke. One more for a bit, and then a policeman told me the other day you're allowed one fundamental right a day. You're either allowed the right to protest or the right to food and rest. They say it's fine, you can pick any time. Dignity or safety, speech or privacy. UK 98 human rights are great, means afterwards we may compensate.
Well done,
the police are there to facilitate whatever their boss says that day. The bailiffs will come and hurt you, because the man who pays them says to. Rights are things you can argue on your day in court. Come the claims from the officers paid to uphold law.
Yes. Brilliant.
all of the Allied nations have exclusively different countries together at Bretton Woods in the United States to work on a plan for the post-war recovery. And that summit led to the setting up of the World Bank, of the IMF, of many of the kind of key institutions which have done quite a lot of harm, but it also led to the Marshall Plan, which transferred a massive amount of American capital to Europe to help it recover. And many people in the US and Britain at that time were strongly against this. Many of them would have preferred Germany to remain a smoking ruin after the war. It took courage and it took imagination to see that this would not just be a failure of generosity, but also a self-defeating one for the Allied nations. And I think we're beginning to see a similar turning point today. Politicians have children, and they're beginning to see that they are destroying any chance that their children have of a viable future. We are not likely to see any dramatically positive good news from the G7 this weekend. But there's another crucial summit in Glasgow in November, as you all know, COP26. And pressure is mounting for the really far-reaching action that could actually start to drive down emissions. And we urgently need to keep up that pressure over the next 5 months. The single most important thing, I believe, that could come out of these summits is an international agreement on taxing fossil fuels. We need a carbon tax on every barrel of oil, every unit of gas or coal that's taken out of the ground. A tax that's paid by the big oil and gas companies that have been destroying our climate and our ecosystems in the name of profit. Just since 1997, the top 4 oil companies have made over $2 trillion in profit. That's $2 trillion from raping our planet, from murdering millions of its people. And now it's payback time. Use that money to invest in the massive changes to our economy that we need to see. We need to use it to help the disadvantaged groups in our society to make the transition. We need to use it to help the countries in the global south to make that transition. They are seeing the worst impacts of climate breakdown, and we need to help repair some of the damage that's been done by years of slavery and colonialism. And if we're going to stop fossil fuels being banned, we have to make it unprofitable to extract them. That's what the banner I've been carrying today says, and it's a message about a basic principle of climate justice. We need to make the polluters pay for a just transition. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much. It's fantastic to hear from our local Extinction Rebellion rebels. What a wonderful day we've been having so far. Absolutely incredible. There are who knows how many hundreds of people here today. So our next speaker I would like to introduce, who many of you I would have imagined already know, is Dr. Rupert Reed, and he is known for his time as a spokesperson with Extinction Rebellion. He's now published a book as well, just doing a little for Rupert, Parents for a Future. Parents for a Future by Rupert Reed. So I'd like to hand over to him now. Dr. Rupert Reed.
To start with, an honest message to our children and to future generations. The G7 are failing you. High finance is failing you. The politicians and governments that high finance buys, they're failing you. The corporate media are failing you. And even we, despite our best efforts, even we are failing you. For sure, the G7, under public pressure, are coming up with quite a few good things. Exhibit A, a tax on Amazon. Right on, brothers and sisters. But so much more is needed if together humanity is going to save the Amazon and save itself. For instance, the G7 ought to be initiating massive, future-minded reform of the finance industry. Just a little aside here, I call it an industry. It's not really an industry, is it? I mean, industry is people actually making things and doing stuff. Sitting behind computers, tapping a few keys and getting unfathomable amounts of money for it. That isn't really industry in my book. But that's what they get called, the finance industry. For example, insurance. Why focus on insurance? Because insurers know. It's literally their business to help us guard collectively against future threats. They are the way we deal with sharing our vulnerability. And that vulnerability, that's just what's going through the roof right now with the rise of climate chaos. So we say to you, insurers, sound the alarm. Tell the truth. Tell the world what you know. Insurers, heed the brilliant initiative that is Insurance Rebellion, because your business model depends on it. Insurers, if you won't help save the world because, well, it would be a good thing to save the world and not destroy it, then at least save the world to save your own corporate skins. Because insurance's business model is sinking as sea levels rise. Talking of telling the truth and of corporations with skin in the game, we're here in Falmouth today because it's where the media are during this summit. They're here behind us in this centre. And the media is mostly a set of corporations too, we mustn't forget that. So while the media has woken up a bit in the last few years, it shouldn't surprise us too much when it too fails us. When it fails to tell the truth about us and about the desperate, unprecedented, long emergency that Earth has been shoved into. Now, I don't know whether insurers or governments are listening to these speeches right now, here today, but we sure as hell know that some of the media are. So here's a message to the people behind us. Here's a message to the people who constitute the media. And never forget, all these institutions are made out of people, with children, flesh and blood, sisters and brothers under the skin. A message to the medium. At this time of decision, in this remarkable moment, when humanity has a last, slim, virus-given chance to change direction, the eyes of the world and the spirits of our descendants are firmly on you in the media to do the very best you can to tell the truth about the collapse, the great unravelling that awaits us all as surely as night awaits day, unless something truly incredible is initiated. Journalists, producers, editors, don't fail us. Tell the terrible truth that can set free. And if you can't because of your bosses, then tell the truth about that. Blow the whistle. If you do, be quite certain that you'll be seen as heroes and we'll be 100% behind you. Tell the truth about how the G7 are failing the future this weekend. For that is the bitter truth. They'll probably come up with some genuinely good wheezes, but are they going to do enough? Are they going to bend their will and their unfathomable wealth toward the level of transformative change that is actually needed? There is no chance that they will. They are going to fail us, and we must be ready for that. And that brings me to my final point. It's time for us to be unafraid to tell the whole truth. That it makes no sense to expect this bunch of so-called leaders to actually lead. That the G7 will fail us. That the COP in Glasgow will fail us. And that they're failing us at this literally vital moment of last chance COVID unexpectedly presented humanity with. For a proper memorial to the dead. For a learning from our shared crisis, shared vulnerability over this last 18 months. For a transformed normal. Their failure to take full advantage of this great and terrible chance means that it's time for us to tell the full, bitter truth. because truth-telling always begins at home. It's no longer enough to demand prevention of climate disasters, because it's too late for that. Climate disasters are here. It's time for us to take a true lead. It's time for us to point the world toward the best future we can now realistically hope for. One in which we seek together to adapt transformatively and deeply to the unprecedented disasters that are here and that are coming, as sure as day awaits night. It's too late to rely on literal insurance. To insure ourselves against our growing vulnerability, we need to actually make our food supply and much, much more resilient. It's time then to state plainly that not only are the G7 failing us, but that we, the climate movement, have not succeeded in our historic objectives either. 3 of the 7 years between 2018 and 2025 have already passed. You see what I'm getting at? If we are brave enough to start to speak the deeply painful truth that adaptation as best we can to a decimated ecosphere is now an unavoidable key part of our historic task, that will be leadership. That will be courage. That itself will be a game changer, the mother of all wake-up calls. Friends, thank you so much for the courage to open yourselves and for having the heart to be here today. Thank you. Love and truth.
For everyone today, thank you so much. So just to let you guys know what's going on, we are going to have a song from the Extinction Rebellion song carriers, and then we would like to invite friends from Kashmir to speak, and followed by Myanmar. So. Handing over now to Marcus, Joe and Holly from the Extinction Rebellion song carriers.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Rupert Reed, for this very moving and inspiring speech. Okay, we've got a call and response song for you, meaning that I sing it first and you sing it back, and I hope we can tie these different subjects together here. It's very simple. Just repeat what I sing. Gonna keep on walking forward. Gonna keep on walking forward.
Gonna keep on walking forward.
Gonna keep on walking forward.
Gonna keep on walking forward.
Never turning back. Never turning back. G7 is on greenwashing. G7 is all greenwashing. Real action's what you lack. Real action's what you lack. Gonna stand for solidarity. We're gonna stand for solidarity. We're gonna stand for solidarity. Never turning back. Never turning back. Stop human rights abuses. Stop human rights abuses. Stop human rights abuses. Never turning back. Never turning back. We're drowning in promises. We're drowning in promises. We're drowning in promises. Now's the time to act. Now's the time to act. Emissions are still rising. Emissions are still rising. Emissions are still rising. Now's the time to act. Now's the time to act. The media must tell the truth. The media must tell the truth. The media must tell the truth. Now's the time to act. Now's the time to act. We need citizens' assemblies. We need citizens' assemblies. Citizens' assemblies. Now's the time to act. Now's the time to act. Another world is possible. Another world is possible. Another world is possible. Never turning back. Never turning back. I'm gonna keep on loving boldly. I'm gonna keep on loving boldly. I'm gonna keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Never turning back. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Extinction Rebellion song carriers. So we have had the great fortune today to be joined by other activists. And Extinction Rebellion is a movement of movements. So now it's a great pleasure to introduce Mr. Caudry, who is the from the International Kashmir Committee, Great Britain.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are Kashmiri people. You watch please over this side. Kashmiri people in Indian occupied Kashmir like jail. Thousand people is killing from Indian forces. Thousand girls and boys are in jails. Thousand Kashmiri people killed in occupied Kashmir from Indian forces. We want justice. We want justice. We want justice. We want freedom. We want freedom. We want freedom. We want freedom. 73 years like Palestine in occupied Kashmir, same position. In Palestine, Palestinian people from Israel and Kashmiri people from India. Very, very bad position. Here not freedom, but here like jail. We want UNO from 1948, one promise Kashmiri people UN you are free. We are give you Kashmiri peoples like freedom. So we are like freedom. We are not like in India. We want only freedom. Our Kashmiri people want freedom. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Free Kashmir! Free Kashmir! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think we have been joined by another march. This is just incredible. So there are a lot of people here, and we don't want to be in the way of the other marches. Of course, they may have different endpoints to the Extinction Rebellion march. So I'm just going to read a couple of bits of information for the Extinction Rebellion and any other activists about what our plan was, but then I will hand over to Jackie and Llewellyn from Myanmar. Okay, so just to let anyone who wants to know that we'll have some regen up back at Kimberley Park. People can make their way back to Kimberley Park. There'll be food there, but we absolutely encourage anybody who is able to eat in the cafes and restaurants on the way home. It's really important to support our local Falmouth businesses. We also have other theatrical installations around the town. We have got our absolutely incredible oil derrick. You have to see him on Custom House Quay. And The Fate of the World, which is alongside our own art blockers, our wellbeing hub in the Church Street car park. Yes, so as I said, please pop into the cafes on the way back, grab a drink, and then we'll reassemble in Kimberley Park. And then later on, early evening, we will have the Extinction Rebellion penitence procession coming down through town once more. So do stay to see that. It will be an absolute spectacle. So a massive thank you to all of the activists, rebels here today. This is just the most incredible day, and I'd like to hand over to Jackie and Llewellyn. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Brothers and sisters, it is important that we are here to stand shoulders to shoulders, united against tyranny. And we gather together carrying our brave hero souls in our heart who had fallen in fight against the illegitimate hunter. To honor them, we must carry on fighting. Since 1st February 2021, when hunter arrested our elected state leaders and unlawfully seized the power, junta forces have carried out relentless killing and daily arbitrary arrest. These civilians on the streets, in their homes, and even in the hospital receiving medical treatments. And they employ extremely brutal force to arrest those who are not easily detained. When wanted individual are found, their family members are taken hostage. They are terrorists. Myanmar military is terrorists. When the Myanmar people banning them terrorists, in 4 months, these terrorists have killed over 900 civilians. Some are as young as 5, and 73 children are being killed. They are under 18. control used by the dictator. Yesterday, the President of the United States and Prime Minister Johnson reaffirmed their commitment to work together for more peace in their Atlantic Charter. They agreed to share responsibility for maintaining the international stability. President Biden also mentioned democracies of the world are standing together to tackle the toughest challenges, the issues that matter most our future. When democracy is under attack, the atrocity crimes are carried out by the dictators to its own people by using the big lie of voter fraud. This proves that it could happen in any democratic country. The only way to prevent this is through international cooperation. Here and now, we are calling all democracies to act on the map, which is a global issue.
Let me see if I can.
We would like to ask the global international community to work with our national unity government of Myanmar to bring stability and protect the fellow human being. Against the dictator through every means necessary. We want all political prisoners to release unconditionally. There is no place for dictator in our democratic civil society. Together we are stronger. Myanmar cause is a global cause. We will win.
You're back in town, are you? Yes, you are.
Everyone for taking the initiative to be here and say it out loud. The reason why we are all here is the same reason. Because all these G7 leaders, they are just put with the job. We want action, right? We want action. And I'm sure you just heard from my colleague saying about the atrocity happening in Myanmar. How terrible. Well, Myanmar is not alone. There are a lot of countries facing humanitarian crisis. Okay, food shortages, military regime, dictatorship. All these things are happening around our planet. Our planet should be peaceful. It should be love and harmony, right? Yes. So Myanmar, unfortunately, is a country at the moment facing brutal killing from military. Myanmar military is a terrorist organization. And we are here to tell the G7 leaders to not recognize them, not giving any slightest chance to a recognition. Did they listen? Not really. So we are furious because people inside Burma, even now, over 4 months, they say going on the revolution. They're using guerrilla tactics. They are copying all our brother and sister movement and trying to fight their freedom out there. And we are here solidarity with them. But without them, we are nobody. And also, we want to tell this G7 government
Alam siya kung niya ka na.
It was like on these little bendy roads and all that. And, yeah, baby. Yeah, we're gonna Size of ice.
We're all good.
Okay, so you're direct.
We need someone march to the beach afterwards. March to the beach. Oh, yeah. Apparently, if you go up the hill and then straight over it, you can cut the